Hello and welcome back. So in this lecture and in next few lectures, we are going to learn about another feature of Mongoose, which is Mongoose Middlewares. So just like Express, Mongoose also has a concept of middlewares. So in this lecture and in next few lectures, we are going to learn what is a Mongoose middleware, what are the different types of Mongoose middleware, and when to use a Mongoose middleware. Now, Mongoose middlewares are basically functions that runs at certain stages in a model's lifecycle, and they allow you to intercept and modify the behavior of documents, queries, and aggregation pipelines before or after execution. You can think of a Mongoose middleware as an event listener, which listens for a specific event, and when that event happens, it executes a function. And Mongoose supports four main types of middlewares: document middleware, query middleware, aggregation middleware, and model middleware. And we are going to talk about each of these types of middlewares in our coming lectures. In this lecture, I just want to give you a high-level overview of what is Mongoose middleware and its types. Now, if we go to the documentation of Mongoose, here you will see that in Mongoose, we also have the concept of middleware. So if I go to this link, here you will see that in Mongoose, we also have support for middleware, and they are also called as pre and post hooks. And we will understand why they are called as pre and post hooks in a bit. But in Mongoose, if you see, we have four types of middlewares. We have document middleware, we have model middleware, we have aggregate middleware, and we have query middleware. Now, one very important point which you need to understand is that all these middlewares are written in the same way. So when you create a Mongoose middleware, there is no way to tell whether that middleware is a document middleware or a model middleware or an aggregate middleware or a query middleware, because all of them are written in the same way. But the difference comes when they are executed. So for example, if you are creating a Mongoose middleware which you are going to run while saving a document in the collection, or while validating the document, or while updating a single document in a collection, or while deleting a document, then for these events, for these operations, when you will create a Mongoose middleware, they will be called as document middleware. Now, why they will be called as document middleware? Because inside that middleware function, you will have access to the document on which you are performing the save operation or the validate operation or update or delete operation. So since we have access to the document on which we are performing operation, it is called as document middleware. Then we have query middleware. When we create a Mongoose middleware which we want to execute for a query, for example, for the find query or find one query or find one and delete, replace one, update one, etc., then we create a query middleware. Again, the query middleware is created in the same way how we create a document middleware. But since we want to execute a function for a given query, inside the query middleware, we will have access to the query object, which is returned by one of these query methods. So we have learned that this find method returns us a query object. So inside the query middleware, when we are running that query middleware for this find operation, inside that query middleware, we will have access to the query object, which this find method will return. In the same way, if I take example of find one and update, so this method also, it is going to return us a query object. So if we are creating a query middleware for this operation, for find one and update method, then inside that query middleware, we will have access to the query object which this method will return. Okay, so inside a document middleware, we have access to the document on which we are performing an operation. And inside a query middleware, we will have access to the query object which is returned by a given query method. Then we have aggregate middleware. So we can create an aggregate middleware to execute some logic before or after an aggregation happens. And inside the aggregate middleware, we will have access to the aggregation object. And we will understand this practically in our coming lectures. And finally, we have model middleware. So this model middleware, it is created for operations like bulk write. So for example, if you want to execute some logic before or after insert many operation or update many operation or delete many operation, in that case, you can use this model middleware. Also, if you want to execute some logic before or after creating a collection, for that we use this create collection method. So before executing this create collection operation or after executing this create collection operation, if you want to execute some logic, for that you can use model middleware. Now in this course, I'm not going to talk about model middleware, but I want to make sure that you understand when a model middleware is created and for which operations you can create a model middleware. All right, so these are the four main types of Mongoose middlewares. We have document middleware, query middleware, aggregate middleware, and model middleware. Now, as we learned, these middlewares are also called as pre and post hooks. Now, why they are called as pre and post hooks? Basically, Mongoose middlewares are used to execute some logic before or after an operation. So if you want to execute some logic before an operation, for example, let's say we are saving a document in the collection. Now, before saving the document in the collection, if you want to execute some logic, let's say you want to add a new field to the document before it gets saved in the database, you can use pre-hook. Okay. And if you want to execute some logic after an operation, you can use post-hook. So as we learned, there are two types of hooks for Mongoose middleware, pre-hook and post-hook. Pre-hook runs before an action, like saving a document, and post-hook runs after the action. Now, in order to create a pre-hook on the schema, here I'm taking an example of user schema. In our Express application, we have created a hotel schema, but here I'm taking an example of user schema. So basically, if we want to create a pre-hook, for that on the schema, we can call pre-method. And to this pre-method, we need to pass the operation, the event for which we want to execute some logic. Here, I'm specifying the save operation. So basically, I'm telling that before saving a user document, since I'm calling this pre-method on this user schema, that means here I'm telling that before a user document is saved in the user collection, before that I want to execute this function. And what I'm doing inside that function? Inside that function, I'm checking if the password is not modified. So here I'm saving a user document. In that user document, I'm checking if the password is not modified, then call the next middleware in the stack. But if the password is modified, then before saving it in the database, first hash it and then call the next middleware. So here, before calling the next middleware, which might have the logic of saving the document in the collection, before calling that, we are hashing the password. So this logic will execute before the document is actually saved in the database. But if we want to execute some logic after the document has been saved in the database, we can use post hook. And to create a post hook on the schema, we use post method. And as the first argument, we specify the event name. Here again, I'm taking an example of save operation, but here we can also create a pre-query middleware. For that, here we can specify a query name like find one and update, find one and delete, delete many, delete one, update one, etc. So any query we can specify here. In that case, we will be creating a query middleware. But here, since I'm using this save operation, this save event, here we are creating a document middleware. Because in the documentation, we learned that for the save operation, we create a document middleware. But for find operation, find one and update, find one and delete, for those, we create a query middleware. So here we are creating a post hook for the save operation. So once a document is saved in the collection, in this example, once the document is saved in the user collection, after that, this function will be executed. And inside this function, we can write some logic. For example, let's say once the document is created in the collection, we want to log it in a file. For that, we can execute this function and we can write the logic of logging the create operation in a file. So this is what we mean by pre and post hook. If we want to execute some logic before an operation, we create a pre-hook. And if we want to execute some logic after a given operation, we create a post-hook. And we are going to talk about this pre-hook and post-hook and also about document middleware, query middleware, and aggregation middleware in great detail in our coming lectures. But I hope on a very high level now you understand what a Mongoose middleware is and when do we use it. If not, it will become more clear from the next lecture. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.